Karen. Oh, it feels
And I'm
good.
your guest, Sarah Brett.
Oh, it feels so nice. You wouldn't mind if we just stayed that way for the next... We're on for an hour and a half. We probably will finish our series on blessings from Abraham to all.
Exciting.
And we're discovering that each chapter in the story, there's only 15, is almost a manual of how to bless. But you can feel, it's not just a manual, you can feel the blessing if we're reading it well, or if we're presenting it well. So now, we're the next to the last chapter, where Abraham, with the help of his servant, is finding a wife for his traumatized son, Isaac. And this will help all of us who would like to be married, even if we've been traumatized.
Mm-hmm. Sure does.
Or at least a loving partner. So, Sarah, and I'm putting her on the spot, and she said it's okay, and I'll help. Tell us what's been going on in this chapter. It's the longest chapter in the story.
Abraham has made it clear that he wants a servant to help him out in seeking a wife for his son Isaac, and he wants the servant to go back to where his roots are, his hometown. And he has said to the servant, go back, bring the camels, bring the cattle and press, aka Ferraris if it was today, today's time, and go to the watering hole, and the woman that you want is going to be a woman that comes over to the watering hole and gives you water and gives the camel water. Someone who's just very thoughtful, and very generous and adventurous, who's willing to just come up and offer
to a stranger.
To a stranger.
And do you remember how the Abraham and the servant had a covenant that the servant was going to do that? Do you remember what they did?
They, no, fill me in.
They put their hand between the thigh. We won't do this on national television. Put their hand between the thighs of each other to make instead of handshaking. It's very intimate. It's like a life force. Don't mess with your life force. You better keep this promise. I don't want you to just go back to Canaan or run away with all my camels or my Ferrari. So they make this covenant, and then what happens?
And the servant takes off, and he goes, and sure enough, this woman named Rebecca comes to the watering hole and gives him water and gives the camels water.
Yes. Now I have one.
Yes.
This is exactly right what Sarah told you. The servant is wise. He comes to the watering hole, which could be like a water cooler if you're at work, or Match.com if you're into that stuff. That's where people met. They met at wells. And the servant says, I believe it's out loud, you can just, may God help me, may Yahweh help me find a wife for my master's son. And when I ask that person to give me some water for my camels, she will water all my camels. Now what do you make of that? He's saying this out loud at the well as a prayer.
He's making sure that she's generous, that she's observant and caring.
Yes, is he giving her directions?
He is giving her directions.
Is he saying it out loud, hoping someone will hear?
That is the question. I don't know if he's saying it out loud.
Yes, I think we could read it that way. And Yahweh is involved. So, is it just using the word Yahweh almost as an enticement? Is it a real prayer, or is he saying it so the woman just hears him? Or is he really praying to Yahweh? Or maybe both?
Say both.
I think both. And you don't know. Maybe she just heard, or maybe some of that divine energy helped it happen. And it's fun that it might be both, or one. Okay, so she does it, and so we're ready. Okay, why don't you start reading on 34? This is Genesis.
Oh, one thing, she runs, Rebecca
Yeah.
comes, and then she's given gold bracelets.
Oh yeah, they don't mess
a
around,
gold
right?
ring.
None of
They're
this.
letting,
None
yeah.
of this. Just to where you love is God. They're really
Yeah,
making.
yeah.
It's not just God. Servant is making. Oh, sorry about that.
It sounds like maybe God's calling.
Maybe God, but I'm not gonna even check. It is my beloved, but
Oh,
no, I'm not gonna
Oh, no.
answer. No, I'm not gonna answer. Although I might.
yes, let's do it.
Hi, we're on television.
Yeah.
And
Bye.
Oh, you can say anything you want to say about Abraham and finding a wife for
Isaac.
finding a wife for Isaac.
And find me a wife, Isaac.
Finding a wife for Isaac. Yes.
Oh, I see. Wow.
Should Rebecca go
Well-
for it? Should Rebecca go for Isaac? Yes or no? What do you
Oh,
think?
Don't forget
Depends on what she needs.
Oh,
What
well.
does she need?
Well, Isaac has been traumatized. His father almost killed him.
Okay, well,
But there's lots of
Yeah.
camels involved. There's 10 camels and gold rings
And bracelets.
and bracelets. Would you do it?
Even though it meant moving.
Even though it meant moving from New Hampshire. Would
Oh,
you
okay.
follow all those camels
I
and go?
see. Oh,
Tell us
yeah, those are
yes or
those are
no.
dilemmas.
He doesn't give
Well,
you
I
chance to
think
think.
it's what she needs, right?
Well, what would
What's
you
her
do?
character
We
like?
need, you are the voice of God, according to Sarah. What would you do?
Would you go for it?
Yes.
Would you go for it, or would you stay with your family?
Or stay with your family?
Yes.
Like the family that you grew up with?
In New Hampshire and wait for some lucky New Hampshire boy to marry you, or would you leave for the
see.
promised land?
Maybe adventure is a good thing.
I think
Okay.
that's a really good call.
We'll take that
I
as-
like that.
We'll take this as a yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank
I'm
you.
excited.
Thank you.
Rebecca, thank you.
All right. Good luck.
You've helped.
Okay. Yeah,
Blessings.
have fun.
Blessings. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you too, Sarah.
That
All right,
was
I
fun.
like it.
That was fun.
I
What would
like
you
it.
do? What-
I
what
would the adventure.
You, the unknown boy.
I think if I was young and inexperienced, I'd be more conservative. But since I know there's a lot of toads out there,
Yes.
I think, well, you know what? What's the
This is a rich toad
this is a rich toad that could provide a family for me
and the camels
and
and
camels.
gold rings. And although, would you be suspicious? He's going to make you decide. But we're jumping ahead of the
Yes,
story.
suspicious, but there's stuff. My family situation isn't perfect.
And what about that prayer? Dear Lord, may the woman who comes and saying it out loud, you know, this servant is tricky. His prayers are so, but I love it. You've gotta be resourceful.
You do.
You can't just go, cut and dried.
You have to be creative.
You've got to really be creative and brave in order to marry into this special family. Although it's not going to be easy. Let's read for us now.
Yes.
What happens?
Well, oh, and then to back it up real quick, Rebecca ran and told her mother's family. And she has a brother named Laban.
And something's big time missing here,
Yes, exactly.
which is,
Her father.
so the Bible is so subtle. So she's from a troubled family. Really troubled. This was the brothers taking over the father. I love it. You can feel for her.
Definitely.
She's not just, I've been raised in a happy family, I'm going to take this trip. No. This family is hurting.
Exactly. And Abraham's servant went into the house. After Laban unloaded the camels and gave them straw and food, he gave water to Abraham's servant so he and the men with him could wash their feet. Then Laban gave the servant food, but the servant said, I will not eat until I have told you why I came.
Wow. This servant is, this should be your coach,
Exactly.
our coach. This servant is not going to even eat. He really, first his tricky prayer, then the gifts. He's not just counting on God to do it. Then the gifts of the gold nose ring. And so Laban is no fool. He sees all this gold. And then the servant says, I'm not going to even eat until I tell you the story. Good for him.
Exactly.
You're good at this. Let's take control when it's a good time to take control. None of this, we'll go with the flow and just eat. Not at all.
And it's very fair that he's saying, hey, I'm not gonna take your food.
Until you know
Yeah.
I am here. But they must be guessing something. His sister has all this gold. It's a gold nose ring to boot, so you're not like, it's not like something in your pocket.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is quite a scene. Now, can you see and envision these people?
I can.
What do they look like? Because you just saw a movie. So if you're making a movie, what are they doing in your movie?
They're very tight. They're a very tight family sitting very closely together.
And what does Rebecca look like?
I'm gonna say brown hair,
Yep.
kind of olive skin. Very pretty.
And it says there's a strange sentence in the middle of the story when they're introducing her, and she's still a virgin. Makes you wonder why they're saying that. How does the servant know this?
Exactly.
Jeez. I mean, he's a man. He's tricky. Who knows? So she's probably 13, 14. My mother, when she was born, I think I told you this.
Yes.
On the birth certificate, her father was a traveling salesman. Her mother was 16 when she was born, out of wedlock. And this servant is a traveling salesman. He's selling.
Yeah, it's very true.
He's selling.
Yeah.
He's selling Isaac. Okay, so let's see what he says.
All right. So Laban said, "Then tell us." He said, "I am Abraham's servant. The Lord has greatly blessed my master in everything, and he has become a rich man."
So he's really setting it up.
He's like Lamborghinis, Ferraris.
Yes. This is,
Here
wow,
we go.
Sarah, this is hope for us.
The Lord has
you.
given him many flocks of sheep, herds of cattle, silver and gold, male and female servants, camels and horses. Sarah, my master's wife, gave birth to a son when she was old, and my master has given everything he owns to that son.
So even here it seems that, even here, the servant is not claiming that the son is Abraham's. Sarah gave
Very
birth.
true.
Even
Very
here.
true. Has given everything to that son.
Yes,
right?
but it would be, you'd have
Not
to really
his-
be listening carefully, but maybe
Yes.
you might be slipping in some hints here.
My master.
And that's the first thing he says. He doesn't say Abraham was a good man, although he does say Yahweh blessed. So but they're focusing on the material goods,
Right.
not he's a good, well, because he wasn't quite such a good father, to say the least,
Yes,
or husband.
that's true.
So this is in our language, this is a swinging family. Abraham gave Sarah away to Pharaoh. Sarah gave Abraham away to his slave Hagar. And then Abraham gave Sarah away to Abimelech. So they're very modern. but out of that, we'll see what, that's the world we're dealing with. See what they make of it. Keep going.
My master had me make a promise to him and said, don't get a wife for my son from the Canaanite girls who live around here.
I wonder why. I have my own answer. Why do you think?
He is proud of his heritage.
You're so nice. What would be a sneaky reason why he wouldn't want to get a Canaanite girl?
Interesting.
What kind of boy would they know? They would know about Isaac, right?
They would.
And was Isaac like other marriageable men?
No.
No. So
He
maybe.
struggled.
So maybe they, you know,
Yeah.
he wouldn't be able to sell him very easily.
That makes sense.
So, and maybe what you say is true too, but both.
Instead, you must go to my father's people and to my family. There you must get a wife for my son. I said to my master, what if the woman will not come back with me?
Oh, then this is very, and saying that in front of them is, what if Rebecca won't come back? Yes.
But he said, I serve the Lord who will send his angel with you and will help you.
So what do you make of that? First of all, Abraham is telling God what to do. Finally, none of this,
Yes.
please help me.
Go with
God,
the flow, right?
send an angel to help me find a mate. Whoa.
I like that.
Not, may it be your will or please. No. God, send an angel or a messenger. In Hebrew, there's no angel is a Greek word. Send a messenger. It could be this messenger, Eliezer. Send a messenger to find a wife for Isaac. Nice and simple. Not on your knees. God, do this. I love it. Because he used to listen to. Why listen to the God anymore who told him to sacrifice or asked him not to sacrifice Isaac? They've gotten close enough.
Exactly.
Abraham can now tell God what to do. And he's telling this to these people. Now, if you're Rebecca listening, what do you feel and think?
I appreciate the full disclosure.
Oh. And what does Rebecca look like? Where is she sitting? You're making this major motion picture now.
I think she's sitting right in the center of the circle.
Oh, it's a circle.
I'm picturing a circle, and I'm picturing her at the head of the circle,
And
like
what
the
is
head
it?
of the table.
And what does her face look like?
I'm gonna say, just very beautiful.
And yes? Any more?
Kind of maybe angelic, maybe round.
Wow.
features.
Although don't forget she comes from a troubled family.
Mm-hmm.
Any troubled? Does she have any tics or
I see her as angelic.
even in spite of all the
Yes.
maybe she had to go to the angelic realm to escape from the trauma, whatever happened to her dad. What could have happened to her dad?
That's a good question.
He's not mentioned.
We'll
I
have to-
don't think he's dead. I wonder if he's mentioned in the story at all. We'll have to pay close attention.
What do you think Rebecca looks like?
I love what you said. I see her like my niece, curls coming down her sides of her face, a big smile, thin-breasted. And if we really look in the smile, there's a lot of sadness in her eyes. And she's sitting, I like her sitting in the circle because they're talking about her. And she just saw this. She was part of it. And now she's listening to it again. And she gets a chance to look closely at the messenger now. And to see if he's telling. And so her eyes are glued on him. Her family might think she's fascinated, and she's thinking, can I trust this guy?
Mm-hmm.
So she's picking a bit on her nails. And if you look at
Oh,
her
I
hands.
like this description.
Yes. Okay, let's keep going.
Yeah, okay. Great description. Okay. You will get a wife for my son from my family and my father's people. Then you will be free from the promise. But if they will not give you a wife for my son, you will be free from this promise.
Boy, maybe he can keep all the camels.
Yeah, that sounds like a win-win.
Mm-hmm. For the servant.
That he's full disclosure, presenting everything truthfully, and whatever happens, he's still free. Today I came to this spring. I said, Lord, God of my master Abraham, please make my trip successful. I am standing by this spring. I will wait for a young woman to come out to get water, and I will say, please give me water from your jar to drink. Then let her say, drink this water, and I will also draw water for your camels. By this I will know the Lord has chosen her for my master's son.
So they're putting God into it. It's not just, I'm doing it. What is adding the Lord Yahweh do to this story the servant is telling?
It puts more, it makes it a stronger, more believable story. Like I would trust it more.
Maybe there's some
Because
divine
the Lord-
energy in
yeah.
it. Maybe there's inviting divine. We need all the help we can get.
And also, if it was just my servant asked for this, my servant asked for that, you have to trust. You have to trust the servant. If he said, "My master asked for this, my master asked for that," whereas when the Lord's name is mentioned, you can trust it more.
Wow, and maybe you can feel.
Yes,
Maybe you can feel that energy.
somatic energy.
Yes, so maybe this is the way.
I like this.
This is the way to find our partners in whatever kind of way we want them.
I like it.
And telling God, this is what you got to do. You can identify with that.
Definitely.
You're right. Wow, I love it.
Me too.
Whoa, how can I resist? It's a very powerful way of putting it.
It is.
This is a real good salesperson.
Before I finished my silent prayer, Rebecca,
Oh, it was silent. Oh, so it wasn't out loud.
speaking in my heart and mind,
Oh, so I'm wrong. Oh, mine was so much more interesting. But oh,
Rebecca came out of the city with her water jar on her shoulder. She went down to the spring and drew water. I said to her, please give me a drink. She quickly lowered the jar from her shoulder and said, drink this. I will also water your camels. So I drank, and she watered my camels too.
well, let's just stop. Where is that word silent? It ruined my whole.
45.
Oh, speaking in my heart, mind is the literal. Oh, before I finish, speaking in my heart, mind. I will need the Hebrew because I'd like it to be out loud. But thank you for puncturing my theory. Oh, if it was only silent, it would help you believe more that divine energy is. Oh, my.
I like it better that it was a silent prayer.
Yes, I like it better if it was out loud, but
Okay.
it isn't. I'll have to look carefully at the Hebrew. Okay, let's keep going. We have only 2 minutes for this show, but we'll be back in 5 minutes after the show ends.
When I asked her, who is your father? She answered, my father is Bethuel, son of Milcah, and Nahor. Then I put a ring in her nose and the bracelets on her arms, and I bowed my head and thanked the Lord. I praised the Lord, the God of my master Abraham, because he led me on the right road to get the granddaughter of my master's brother
Yes.
for his son.
Wow, marrying in the family.
Now tell me, will you be kind and truthful to my master? And if not, tell me so, then I will know what I should do.
Wow. Kind meaning will you give Rebecca up? Whoa. Big choice. This is a stranger. You might wonder, why is he rushing these things? I just got rushed to buy some windows from Anderson. They said, if you don't decide today, it'll be cost you more. And I wanted to sleep on it, but I didn't, because my neighbors were in on the deal, and so I would have messed it up. I should have said no anyway, because anybody who says you can't sleep on it. But this servant is wanting them to do it now. Would you trust this, Sarah?
It would make me very uncomfortable. The rush.
Yes, I don't think I'd do it. I would want you to do it.
I wouldn't do it.
No.
I would have to have the son come there. I'd have to meet at least for,
For coffee.
a cup of coffee.
It would be too suspicious. But don't forget, you're probably traumatized in your life.
We'll see you soon.